Anthony does it all. She's an actress, a mother, a wife to NBA superstar Carmelo Anthony. You might have heard of him. A successful entrepreneur and a New York Times best-selling author. Now, I sat down with my good friend Lala earlier to talk about her newest book. The Power Playbook, that's what it's called. Rules of Independence, Money, and Success. Let's take a look at this interview. Businesswoman, mom, actress, writer. Which one do you think you're most successful at?
Being a mom. I love being a mom. I love Cayenne. I love my son. We have the best time together. So yes, being a mom is my favorite and most important job.
I forgot to throw in wife. So would that come in close second?
It comes in close second. Yes, I would say so.
I love it. I'm sitting here with a friend, so it's like girl talk right now. And every time I see a new project from you coming up, I'm like, yes, Lala.
Thank you.
So is that what you talk about in this new book?
Yeah, you know, the second book, it's a series. It was the Love Playbook was the first one. This one is the Power Playbook. And I just talk about finding your inner power, like what's your passion and your purpose, because I find so many of us in the world, especially, you know, young women, we're just floating around not knowing what we're doing. And people ask me all the time, like, how did you make it? What did you do? What was your path? And coming from humble beginnings, not having anything, like, how did you get to where you're at? So I talk about that in the book and hope that I can help people find what their purpose is. And what's most important to me is making people understand that we can't let our circumstances define our power, who we are. You know, I came from a bad family, horrible mom, horrible dad, horrible husband, whatever it is, we can't let those things define our path to power and greatness. So I talk about that a lot in the book.
You also talked about how people often associate money and power with social media now, and how Instagram and Twitter is like kind of really faking the funk. It's not what it seems.
Yeah, so, you know, I always laugh when they say your Instagram is a liar because everybody's like trying to be something they're not on Instagram. And I talk a lot about social media and branding yourself, because what people don't understand, when you're applying for these jobs and people are thinking about you, the first thing they go is look on your social media. They look on your Twitter and your Instagram. So if you're applying to be a dental assistant and there's 100 pictures of you in a bikini and a thong, that might not go together. So you have to be mindful of that. It's okay to have fun. I mean, I have fun. I post great pictures on my Instagram, but you have to be mindful of the image that you're putting out there, because that's what people use now as a source to check you out.
I see the evolution of Lala. I've seen when you started. I was looking up to you when you were that disc jockey on MTV to where you are now. What possibly do you feel like you have to accomplish next?
Well, you know, I'm definitely just diving into my acting career, which, you know, I'm super excited about. It's funny, I wrote the Power Playbook and I'm on a show called Power, which is interesting. So the second season will premiere on June 6th on the Starz Network. And I'm also producing a lot. You know, I came from, you know, the TV world, so I feel like now I'm in a position to produce content and really get out there and establish myself as an actress and a producer. So I don't see why a person can't do it all. And I talk about that in the book too, like not being put in a box and not being told you can only do one thing.
What's the #1 misconception people have about you and they learn more about in your book?
Well, oh, definitely that, you know, I came into this, or I have the perfect life, or what do I know about struggle, because everything's just been so perfect. I mean, I've had the furthest thing from a perfect life. I worked really hard. I started as an intern in Atlanta at 16 years old, making no money, sleeping on the floor, and Ludacris can attest to my story. You know, I didn't have a dime and just really worked hard. So when people read the book, they'll understand that I understand what it's like to start from nothing and really be working really hard and feel like, am I ever going to get my chance? Am I ever going to get my break? I understand what that's like.
Last but not least, is being married to a star and both of y'all being in the spotlight make it harder or make it easier?
Definitely harder. Definitely harder, because you have two schedules that are going in completely different directions, and you really have to work a lot on trust, because you're not with each other all the time, and communication, because you spend a lot of time where you don't see each other. So communication has to be intact, and trust. And I always tell people, and I say it in the book, no relationship is perfect. Everybody goes through their ups and downs, but it's just about the lessons that you learn coming out of those.
That's right. And speaking of those hectic schedules, you know, her schedule right now has her in LA. And if you're in LA, Lala's having a book signing tonight at 7 p.m. at the Barnes & Noble at the Grove.